Hi, I'm Brooke from Quagensia, and in this video, I will show you how to use the Quagensia Runtime Dll setup wizard, which opens automatically the first time you generate the code for a Quagensia N Edition strategy that uses the Quagensia Table System, such as the 3 Quagensia strategies here. For instance, if you have never completed this wizard before and you open the Quagensia strategy named Analyze Actual Trades, uses table of data loaded from a tabular data file on disk, and generate its code by clicking this button, this wizard will appear. Step 1 of this wizard just tells you to watch the video you are currently watching and explains what this wizard does and why it is so important. This wizard will guide you through the quick and easy process of copying the Quagensia Runtime Dll file into the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder and adding a reference to the Quagensia Runtime Dll file from within your current installation of NinjaTrader 8 if you have never done so. Once you complete this wizard, you will be able to use the most powerful features of Quagensia N Edition, such as the ability to read and write tables of data to and from tabular data files from within your NinjaTrader 8 strategies, and you will be able to use the 3 Quagensia strategies here. Let's get started. Click Next to go to Step 2, which tells you to close all instances of NinjaTrader 8 and wait 15 seconds to ensure that they are no longer running. If any instances of NinjaTrader 8 are running, you will likely be unable to copy the Quagensia Runtime Dll file into the proper folder because running instances of NinjaTrader 8 may cause the Quagensia Runtime Dll file in the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder to be considered in use and therefore not overwritable. Click Next to go to Step 3, which allows you to enter a non-default location for the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder. This is a folder where NinjaTrader 8 expects third-party DLLs to be located. In the rare event that you changed the folder path of the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder from its default location, you will need to enter the folder path to the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder in the text box below. Click Next to go to Step 4, which guides you through the process of manually copying and pasting the Quagensia Runtime Dll file from a Quagensia N Edition folder into the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder. Once you've done this, this red message will turn green and let you know that the Quagensia Runtime Dll file was copied successfully. To copy the Quagensia Runtime Dll file, click on these two buttons to open up these two folders in two separate instances of Microsoft Windows File Explorer. Then copy and paste the Quagensia Runtime Dll file using File Explorer in the way that you normally copy files between folders. Note how the red message turned green and says that the Quagensia Runtime Dll file is present and up to date in the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder. Note that since the 32-bit edition of NinjaTrader 8 and the 64-bit edition of NinjaTrader 8 share the same NinjaTrader bin custom folder, you only need to do this once and it will apply to both editions of NinjaTrader 8. Click Next to go to Step 5, which guides you through adding a reference to the Quagensia Runtime Dll file from within NinjaTrader 8 if you have never done this before. Note that you can skip this step if you have ever done it before for your current installation of NinjaTrader 8, even if you did it for an older version of the Quagensia Runtime Dll file. To add a reference to the Quagensia Runtime Dll file from within NinjaTrader 8, first open NinjaTrader 8. While NinjaTrader is loading, it should be noted that Quagensia N Edition is a product of Quagensia Inc., a company which has no affiliation with NinjaTrader LLC. Also, NinjaTrader and NinjaScript are registered trademarks of NinjaTrader LLC. Now that NinjaTrader has opened, do the following from within it. First, click on the New main menu item in the upper left of the main window of NinjaTrader 8 and click the NinjaScript Editor menu item near the bottom of the list of menu items that appear. This opens the NinjaScript editor. Then, right-click on the main area of the NinjaScript editor, which is the area of the window that takes up the most space, and click on the References menu item in the context menu that appears. This opens up the References window. Then, click on the word Add in the lower right of the References window. This opens up a window that says Add. Then, scroll down through the list of folders and files on the right-hand side of this window. Select the file named Quagensia Runtime Dll. Then click the Open button. This closes the Add window. Then, click the OK button in the lower right of the References window. You have now successfully added a reference to the Quagensia Runtime Dll file that your NinjaTrader 8 strategies will now be able to use from within the current installation of NinjaTrader 8. Click Next to go to the sixth and final step of the wizard, which tells you that your Quagensia N Edition strategies should now be able to use all the most advanced features of Quagensia N Edition from within NinjaTrader 8, and tells you how to get help if you experience any problems with this wizard. Click Close to close the wizard, and you're done. Now, when we click on this button to generate the code for a Quagensia N Edition strategy that uses the Quagensia Table System, such as the Quagensia strategy named Analyze Actual Trades, uses table of data loaded from a tabular data file on disk that we opened at the beginning of this video, the Quagensia Runtime Dll setup wizard no longer automatically opens because Quagensia N Edition has determined that the Quagensia Runtime Dll file in the NinjaTrader 8 bin custom folder is present and is the correct one. Note that this wizard will automatically appear in the future if you install a newer version of Quagensia N Edition that comes with a newer version of the Quagensia Runtime Dll file. Now that you can use Quagensia N Edition strategies that use the Quagensia Table System, you can now open these three Quagensia strategies that come free with Quagensia N Edition, generate their code by clicking this button, and use them in NinjaTrader 8 by following the instructions in each of their description and notes fields. If you have a paid subscription to Quagensia N Edition or are in the free trial period, you can also customize these three strategies without code and create your own Quagensia N Edition strategies that use the Quagensia Table System. Quagensia N Edition's innovative Quagensia Table System makes it easy to load tables of many kinds of data, not just time series data, from tabular data files into in-memory data tables that you can query, modify, and then write back to tabular data files on disk from your strategies. If you have valuable data in Microsoft Excel files, a database such as Microsoft SQL Server, SQLite, or MySQL, if you have access to exotic data via Bloomberg Terminal, Refinitiv Icon, or another high-end institutional platform, if you have tabular data output from MATLAB or R, or if you have access to alternative data sources on the internet, it is generally very easy to get these kinds of data into comma delimited, semicolon delimited, or otherwise character delimited tabular data files. And once you do, it is easy to get all of this data, even entire databases of data, into your NinjaTrader 8 strategies by simply clicking choices on the screen in Quagensia N Edition. You can also create in-memory data tables and populate them with data from scratch, i.e. not from tabular data files, and then create, modify, and delete rows from these in-memory data tables. Regardless of how you create your in-memory data tables, Quagensia N Edition makes it easy to write that data to tabular data files on disk. This allows you to run a backtest or optimization of a NinjaTrader 8 strategy that outputs a report containing tabular data that you can load into any database, use as input data in MATLAB or R, or load into Microsoft Excel to manipulate further and use to create visually powerful charts and graphs that answer your questions about the markets in ways that backtest performance reports cannot. All features just described work with data columns of 73 different types of data, including 10 numeric data types, 3 date and time data types, colors, booleans, text, and 57 lists of choices data types, such as the months of the year or the days of the week. That's the end of our video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please let us know by giving this video a like and subscribing to our channel. And if you loved it, please consider sharing this video. Download the free trial of Quagensia N Edition from Quagensia.com to get all our free no-code trading strategies so that you can use them as is and customize them without code. And on behalf of our users, thank you to the content creators who customize these 3 strategies and even create their own that use the Quagensia Table System. Content creators, if you let us know when you've published high-quality Quagensia enhanced content, we will consider promoting it for free on our website. Have a great day.